Hey, once again. Today we want to look at some very interesting aspects of life. Uh, there is a quote that I had a long time ago, some time ago. It goes this way: that they that fight monsters need to be careful that in the process they themselves do not become monsters. For if you gaze at the abyss for long enough, the abyss will gaze back at you. End of quote. If you look at the abyss for long enough, the abyss will gaze back at you. And there is something about life that we need to understand, that we are in this world, but we are not of this world. We are in this world, but we are not of this world. So we do not need to behave like the people of the world. This week I was with a pathologist. She's the head of pathology in the biggest, I think it's one of the biggest private hospitals in our country. A very brilliant lady. If not the biggest, then I believe by coverage it's the biggest private hospital in our country. And she was talking to me and telling me that most probably, she was actually very definite that this virus was genetically, or it was manufactured in a laboratory, most probably in Wuhan. And I'm one of those people who, probably if you've been hearing me for long, I'm not into he says and things like that. But because this is someone who is actually heading pathology, where they deal with looking at things as this, I began to listen. And it's quite sad that people can come up and manufacture such a thing, that the intention was to use it maybe at this time or at another time as a weapon. And it got out, and now we all know the story of the COVID-19, because it has affected many people. Many lives have been lost. Many things have happened since this all thing started. And one of the things about, someone said that war turns men into animals, that you even turn against your own brother. And God created us as humanity to walk in love. And at times when humanity leaves human and we turn as animals, we begin to behave like animals, then things become very dangerous. And in a scripture, the Bible talks about this in the book of Matthew chapter 24. Jesus begins to tell his disciples what will happen in the last days. And in verse 12, verse 12 says this: because of the increase of wickedness, the love of many will grow cold, but he who stands firm to the end will be saved. Because of wickedness, the love of many will grow cold. Because of wickedness, the love of many will grow cold. And at times we've seen some human beings that you really wonder, is this a human being, or is he an animal, or is he or is he the devil himself? And at times, human beings can become very cruel. And many times, when things happen and you're in an environment where you're constantly seeing bloodshed, and you're constantly seeing death, and you're constantly seeing certain things happen, it is very dangerous that you can be able to start calling it the new normal. Right now, there's a new phrase that this is the new normal. There's the new normal. And if the new normal is wickedness, is lack of love, lack of compassion for humanity, I do not want to subscribe to it. I do not want to board it. There's someone who said in our country, I'm not boarding. I don't want to board that. I don't want to board that. So help me, God. If the new normal is not to be caring, loving, sensitive to the needs of others, then I do not want to board. So help me, God. I do not want that new normal. Because at times in war, once you've seen so many people die, you become numb. You become numb to the plight of humanity and the suffering of mankind. And you just enter into survival mode. You enter into survival mode. I want to survive this. And you become numb into the things that are happening around you. And that's why this man say that if you be careful, that those who fight monsters need to be careful that they do not, in the process, they do not become monsters themselves. Because you can associate yourself and be in an environment where you're associated with monsters. Until that's why I believe the scripture says, do not walk with people who are quick-tempered or get annoyed quickly, lest you rub into it and also be quick-tempered and destroy your life. The Bible also says, do not be equally yoked with unbelievers, because good company spoils good morals. Bad company spoils good morals. Bad company spoils good morals. When you rub into something for so long, when you gaze into the abyss for too long, the abyss will gaze back at you. The abyss will gaze back at you. So we need to be careful that even as the scripture says, that in the last days the love of many will grow cold. Oh my God, help me. That our love will not grow cold. We shall still have humanity in us. We shall not turn into animals. We shall have humanity in us. That our conscience shall not be ironed by wax. That we no longer feel the plight of humanity. Because we have been in the environment for too long, that till it becomes our new normal. Where you can see an hungry man and you know that he's hungry and pass him. Oh God, help us that we may have humanity in our hearts again. That our love shall burn stronger. That even as wickedness increases, let our light shine brighter. That is my prayer for you, and that is my prayer for me, myself also. That my love shall not dim because of the surroundings or because of my own selfish desires. But we shall have the humanity in mankind again. Societies that value people's lives are usually societies that are in front. If we want to be a first world country, then let us begin to value people's life. I've been to some of these countries, some few countries, and one of the things that they do is they value people. You look at their emergency response. If you call like this, the ambulance will be there at your footstep. Why? Because humanity are valued. Humanity is valued. Let us be a generation and a people that their love will not grow cold. Jesus said this as I read it again to us. But because of the increase of wickedness, chapter 24, verse 11, because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. The love of most will grow cold, but he who stands firm to the end will be saved. My prayer today for all of us, that our love may not grow cold. Our love may not grow cold, that we may have a heart for people, not for things. And now the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance on you and grant you peace.